How's everybody today? Good. Well, when we looked at the film of this game and the feeling that we had after the game as well, was there were a lot of good things in the game. I think probably the best thing was, our players really played hard in the game. Were really physical. It was a physical game on both sides of the line. Um, our offensive line got some good movement when we needed to, and we had balance on offense. And the defensive front kind of controlled their running game, which was sort of their forte. I think the team had fun playing together, which was good to see. It's always exciting as a coach when you think the players are out there having fun, hand on a hat. They're down, they're up, they're doing the things that you like to see from an energy and enthusiasm standpoint. We took care of the ball well in the game, didn't turn it over. Still need to attack the ball on defense, and we made some explosive plays, and we didn't give up as many big plays. So there's a lot of things that we need to clean up. Details across the board. Way too many penalties. Stopped ourselves on several drives. Lack of fundamental execution and basic discipline, led to poor outcomes. And that's something that we're looking forward to learning from, whether it was how we blocked, how we covered, how we played, gaps up front, how we ran routes, how we protected, whatever it might be. So, consequently, do a little better job on third down on both sides of the ball, and certainly need to improve our execution on special teams across the board. When the young players got a chance to play, they need to see what the standard that we expect guys to play to around here, regardless of the circumstance and the situation in the game. So, that's something that I think will be a great learning experience for a lot of those players. I think, concentrating on the right things, thinking about the right things is really important right now, which is, things we did well, build on. Things we need to improve, we need to address and go out there and get better at those things. And we're just starting to climb a mountain here, and we took one step and that's it, and we've got another challenge to look forward to, this week. Middle Tennessee was a 6-6 team a year ago, had a big win the first week, very impressive in the way they played offensively and defensively. Rick Stockdale's been there for a while, and they do a great job. They go fast on offense, and got really good concepts and schemes in what they do. Good quarterback, and lots of returning players on both sides of the ball. So, this is a game that, I feel like will be a challenge for us, ourselves, to improve and be ready and play at a standard that is going to help us to get better as a team.
I know you haven't seen them practice, but in your experience, when a quarterback plays in a game, plays well, has some success, builds some confidence, how important is that confidence in their overall growth into the position?
Well, I think it's important at every position. I think, especially players who don't have a lot of previous experience, for them to be able to go out and have some success. And also, every now and then when they don't do it right and don't have success, that they get the opportunity to see, when I execute and do things correctly, I'm very capable of doing it the right way and having positive plays and being successful. And when I don't do it exactly right, sometimes the outcome's not as good. So you try to build on that, every player at every position. I don't think there's any question about the fact that, both quarterbacks did a nice job when they were in there, and that's going to help their confidence and growth. And I think it'll help the confidence and growth of our offense. But I also think that the receivers who made plays in the game, who didn't have experience, that's going to help them. And the new players in the offensive line. So all these things, to me, when you have players who don't have a lot of game experience, this is very helpful if they have some success doing things and they can learn from the things they didn't do correctly.
Nick, I'm not sure how much that you've looked at Middle Tennessee film yet, but what do you know about the safety that they have, Kevin Byard? I know he's put up some good numbers for them. What have you seen, heard about him?
Well, we think he's a really good player. I spend most of my time in the beginning on Sunday. I do defense, which is looking at their offense and special teams. And then later on, like today and tonight, I look at their defense for our offense. But so I haven't watched them a lot yet, but the guy made a lot of interceptions and very good player from everything we understand.
And just a second question with Kenyon, I know all along you've talked about just how ready he was to get back out there, but even having the confidence you did, how good was it just to see him back out there doing what he did?
Well, I've seen him out there in practice, and I've been trying to convince you all that the guy's fine, but now you know it. How do you feel about it? Because I've been feeling this way ever since spring. But so my question would be, how do you all feel about it? Because I've been saying it. I've been getting asked every scrimmage, every practice, how's Kenyon Drake? He's fine. He's 100%. So do you believe me now? So my question is how you feel about it, because I've been feeling good about it for a long time.
Two quick ones, if I may. Jabril Washington was at the game but not dressed out. Was he injured or something else going on there?
Yeah, Jabril sprained his knee in Thursday practice, and it's not something that's a surgical knee, but it is something that's going to keep him out for a couple weeks. So he was doing a nice job for us, and he has played some and gave us some nice depth at safety. So, some other guys are going to have the opportunity to step up there.
And sorry, one more. And then after watching the film, how did you think the secondary did in terms of turning and finding the ball, especially the young guys like Minka and Marlon?
Well, we had 3 pass interference, 2 DBs, unnecessary penalties that were probably caused by lack of fundamental discipline and executing technique. We didn't give up as many explosive plays, but there's lots of room for improvement. We didn't do as good a job on third down as we need to, especially in the first half. So, we're not disappointed in where we are, but, we certainly have a lot to improve on.
Over the years, we've seen a lot of running backs have good performances, but the one constant has been Coach Burns. How big of an asset is he, both in terms of coaching and recruiting?
Well, Coach Burns does a really, really good job with our players. I think they respond well to him. He's got a great personality. He's well-liked on the staff. He's well-liked in recruiting by a lot of people. So, Coach Burns is very, very positive force in terms of helping players perform well, and he certainly has done that. But he has yet to carry the ball. So, those guys carrying the ball have something to do with that too.
Coach, I didn't see it, obviously, was at the game, but apparently Kirk Herbstreit said that J.K. Scott had been struggling through camp. Has that been the case? What was the situation Saturday?
Not really. I mean, I think that, there's been a little inconsistency sometime in his drop, which is what was the problem with the poor kick on Saturday, was he dropped the ball outside. So when he drops it correctly and he hits it with a nice smooth pace, he's pretty consistent and kicks it really, really well. So, we have a lot of confidence in him. I just think he just got to get confidence back in his drop, and he'll be fine.
Right here with Michael, same side. Just want to ask about after game one, the way the play cards, the kind of signaling in some of the plays on the no huddle stuff, how that worked in your mind, and how do you think they played with pace? There were a few plays where you guys went, some quick hurry up. How do you think that went?
Went good. We sort of went like we wanted to go. We had a little trouble with the headset at one point in time, which we had to call timeout because the headset went dead, so we didn't get the play call to the signalers early enough. But other than that, when we didn't have any kind of mechanical issues, I thought it went pretty smoothly.
Right over here, Alex. You've said seeing how they do on the field when the bullets are flying is kind of the best way to read how a quarterback does. Is this a game this week where you're a heavy favorite that maybe you create a little competition in the game between the two of them?
No, I don't look at it like that at all. We're going to do what's best for our team in terms of getting ready for our game. And I don't think the fact that, here's the one thing that everybody's got to keep in mind. All right, everybody's got a good football players, and everybody needs to respect the opponent. All right, and I don't care if we're favored in a game or not favored in a game. The most important thing for our players is to focus on what they need to do to play their best. All right, so we took one step up on the climb, all right, and we need to improve significantly. All right, so we're not approaching this game like it's the most important game of the season for us because it's the next game, and it's the next opportunity for us to get better. So we're not trying to create anything based on who we're playing because we respect who we're playing. And I suggest that everybody else does too. I mean, they just put 700 yards or something on the team. So, we respect that, and we respect what they do. We respect their players, and we respect their coaches. They go fast. It's going to probably be a hot day. I mean, we got lots of issues and a lot of problems to deal with just in creating the kind of performance that we want to create without creating something else.
What did you see from Jake Coker after you guys had made a decision about the quarterback situation last year, and what kind of importance do you attach to that?
I'm sorry, you need to ask me that again. I mean, I'm still on the last question because being able to concentrate on the right thing at the right time is critical to being successful. All right, so what's the right thing at the right time now? Improving our team. I'm sorry. It's not your fault.
How did Jake react last year once you guys had reached a decision about the quarterback situation? How did what he did after that point last year affect what you thought of him, or how important is that?
You know what? I can't remember what happened last year. I mean, I'm so worried about what's going to happen today at 1:15 in the meeting and then at 4 o'clock on the practice field that I can't remember what happened last year. You know what happened last year? When and so, but I don't understand the innuendo there either because nothing's really changed in terms of those two guys. They both had an opportunity in a game. We were happy with the way both of them played. There were things that both could do better, and our focus is on improvement with them. So hopefully they handle their circumstance and go out there and focus and concentrate on the right things at the right time so they can improve.
Just kind of going off of that, you said before the season started that teams can be successful playing two quarterbacks, especially when they have differing styles. When Cooper is out there, certain to be seem a little bit of a different way that you guys played compared to Jake. What does he kind of bring to the table in terms of his athleticism and what you can do speed-wise with him out there? And how much of a benefit is it to have two guys that you can play, forcing other teams to kind of have to prepare for two different styles?
Well, I think you answered your own question there by talking about how athletic the guy was and how he can move and, how the other guy can pass the ball. And so, I don't know what I'm supposed to answer because you already answered your own question. I think it does create something for the other team when you have two different guys that have two different styles, but you answered that too.
Hey, Coach, given the makeup of this receiving core, were you happy with the way the ball was distributed on Saturday in the passing game?
Well, the way the ball gets distributed in the passing game is not, all right, we're going to throw it to number 8 this time. All right, now this time we're going to throw it to number 13. All right, now the next time we're going to throw it to number 3. You call a play, you don't know what coverage they're going to play, and then the quarterback throws the ball to the right guy based on the coverage they're playing. So one guy could get 10 opportunities totally unscripted, and another guy could get 2. So I'm glad that a lot of guys got an opportunity to catch balls and make plays because I think that will help them develop and improve their confidence. But you can't really sort of make sure that that happens. You can even call a play and put a guy in a position and say, okay, this play is designed to get the ball to number 17. And then they take 17 away and number 13 gets it. So we were pleased that a lot of guys were involved. A lot of guys got to catch passes to help improve a part of our team that does not have a lot of experience.
Coach, how'd you feel about Ross's play on the offensive line, him starting Saturday? How'd you feel about how he played?
Ross Perspark, you're talking about? Ross did a nice job. I thought the whole offensive line did a good job. You know, we got to get our hands inside. We got to block movement a little bit better. A couple times we, you know, sort of overset and pass pro and, you know, got some pressure in the pocket that we don't need to have. But I was really pleased with, you know, the movement, the toughness, how physical we played up front. Didn't make a whole lot of mental errors. So those are all things that we can build on. But Ross did a nice job.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.